The tradition of mummification that began with the Capuchin monks of Palermo quickly spread throughout convents and churches in southern Italy. To understand the success of this treatment, we must first go beyond death.
Amore, amore.
Com'era?
Buona. Facciamone un'altra per sicurezza.
Ok.
Tu muori qui. E poi?
Well, scientifically, your body decomposes.
And bugs eat you.
Maybe, unless it doesn't. And then you end up here as a naturalized mummy.
Being preserved after death had a religious significance. It was seen as a sort of miracle. It was defying the laws of nature.
The incorruptibility of the body is one of the signs of sanctity. So if I am preserved here, near to people that were subject of a miracle, I am protected.
Ragazzi, quasi pronti, eh?
Senti, volevo dirti una cosa, ma non è meglio se muoio io?
No, guarda, meglio che muore lei.
Sì, ma guarda che la maggior parte delle mummie erano uomini.
Sì, e poi muore sempre la ragazza, è un po' un cliché.
Sì, lasciamo il cliché.
Teniamo il cliché.
Andiamo, dai, ragazzi.
Death in Sicily was just a continuation of a journey started on Earth, and the souls of the miraculously preserved would help the souls of the recently deceased reach their final destination in the afterlife. For many, this journey would start in the purgatory.
The purgatory, where the souls go, is the place where you have to purge, you have to get purified. This is why bodies were laid on top of these structures, because they were losing their humid part, the bodily fluids, but metaphorically it's also a way to clean the soul. And by the time the body is completely dehydrated, the soul reaches another dimension, the supernatural dimension, and becomes a different entity that is here for the families to relate. People were going to the crypts to communicate with them, to ask for advice, to ask for intercessions. It was like the bodies were becoming a medium between this world and the afterlife.
This continuous dialogue between death and people living, still living.
Ma tu non morivi anche nello spettacolo di Gianni?
E sapessi tu tutte le volte che sono morta.
Ma senti, ma che fa Gianni in questi giorni?
Ma non lo so, non ci sentiamo più da quando ci siamo lasciati.
But this wasn't for everyone, right?
No, not at all. Here you find people from nobility and from high and middle bourgeoisie, because the treatment were very expensive, and also because the family has to take care about their mummies. So being here is like a status symbol. If a relative of mine is here, there are no doubt about the power, the economical power and the prestige of my family.
Cavolo, ho finito i giga.
Tieni, usa il mio.
Oh, grazie. Stavo approfondendo su queste mummie.
Non sei cambiata per niente.
Se vogliamo che tutto rimanga com'è, c'è bisogno che tutto cambi.
Ah, la gattoparda.
This pattern is repeated elsewhere too. In the last quarter of the 18th century in Pirano, a crypt was created for the wealthiest priest by the archpriest of the time.
That's him, is Giovanni Scalenza, quite rich person, very important. He could directly interact with the elite, and he could convince the local duke to have the land to build the crypt.
So the mummification was a sort of power combined with religion as a way to show your affluence.
Yes, and it would help them to enter paradise.
Se ci pensi, la mummificazione era simile ai viaggi privati nello spazio.
In che senso?
Beh, quando ti puoi permettere di comprare una di quelle escursioni super costose nello spazio, non compri solo il viaggio in sé, ma tutti i valori aggiunti, come lo spirito d'avventura, l'esplorazione, il coraggio, lo spirito nobile.
Ho sempre sognato di fare l'astronauta.
Me lo ricordo.
Senti, ma Che fai stasera?
Guarda, ho da fare.
And so it carried on for hundreds of years until the beginning of the 20th century, when the practice began to wane. And after the First World War, it just stopped. People moved on with their lives. The crypts fell into disrepair, and the perfect corpses of the Sicilian aristocracy forgotten.
We started investigating them in 2007, and we still continue nowadays to study them.
That's quite recent, only since 2007.
Yeah, they've just been left around. No one really cared until Daddy came along.
Let's do that again. I'll open again. What is it about mummies that is so fascinating to study? Like, why does this keep you going?